Hello, you're watching Everything Bites, the show in which I, Hunter Moore, declare war on France with absolutely no regrets. Random Access Memories is the fourth studio album by French EDM and house music duo Daft Punk. The group has actually been making music for about 2 decades now, and this album marks the longest span of time between albums in their whole discography. Daft Punk popped up on a lot of people's radars back in 1997 when the group released their first official album, Homework. The record was popular, especially among French house and micro house groups, but it couldn't even touch the success of the 2001 LP, Discovery. That Discovery LP was really where the group hit its stride, with massive singles such as One More Time and Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, which of course was infamously sampled on Kanye West's track Stronger from his Graduation record. Daft Punk's level of popularity sunk a little bit in 2005 with the release of their third studio album, Human After All. However, the group was able to bounce back with a big bang in 2007 with the release of their live album, Alive 2007. As a result of the group's popularity and surprising longevity considering the style of the music in which the band plays, the pre-release hype surrounding the fourth album, Random Access Memories, was pretty astounding. The group was able to utilize a pretty grand promotional rollout, including billboards, TV advertisements, and a web series called The Collaborators. Alongside that, back in April, the group released their first official single in over 8 years, entitled Get Lucky, featuring Pharrell from Nerd and the Neptunes. All that being said, when we get to the core of the album itself, the music, the songwriting, the lyricism, and the production, it's not bad. What I, and a lot of other fans I'm sure, weren't expecting from Random Access Memories is that it is essentially a disco album, a new disco album, recalling a lot of the vibes and sounds of the West Coast in the late 70s and early 80s, referencing Steely Dan, Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, and Hotel California, and even going so far as to pay homage to some of the more ambitious albums of the late 60s even, and early 70s. Stuff like The Dark Side of the Moon, Sgt. Pepper, The White Album, Quadrophenia, Tommy. This album is long, self-indulgent for days, and occasionally pretty difficult to get through. But ultimately, it's insanely well crafted and impeccably produced. The LP begins with some of the coolest, craziest, hip-shaking rhythms you're going to experience all year. The robots themselves, Thomas Bangalter and Guy Manuel de Omem Cristo, take the vocal reins on a couple of these songs and a couple songs later on the album. And through some vocoder and synth effects, they actually sound pretty good doing their shtick. The track Instant Crush features Julian Casablancas of The Strokes, giving us some sweet lines alongside some really cool percussion. The next 3 tracks, Lose Yourself to Dance, Touch, and Get Lucky, I kind of see as a trilogy of sorts. 2 of them feature Pharrell, and 1 of them features award-winning American composer Paul Williams giving vocals and piano. These 3 tracks are sexy, groovy as hell, and even a little moving. The last 2 tracks on Random Access Memories are probably 2 of the most interesting ones on the entire album. The song Doin' It Right features Panda Bear, aka Noah Lennox from Animal Collective. This actually might be my favorite song on the LP. It comes very close to feeling a little cheesy, a little kitschy, and in some ways it is those things, but I kind of embrace it for those things as well. I think it comes together as a nice, cohesive, 4-minute pop gem. It also features some of the cleanest, nicest vocals from Noah Lennox that we've heard in a long time. The closer here, Contact, is one that's really been hyped by a lot of people. Per Sonic residents, it actually sort of reminded me of the 1999 DJ Darude dancehall smash Sandstorm. The overall sonic quality and production that we get from the robots on this album is, like I said before, pretty impeccable. They incorporate quite a bit of live instrumentation as well as longer, more ambitious song structures, which in some ways makes the album feel like kind of a progressive disco album. As a direct result of this, it kind of makes me wonder, who did they make this for? As popular as the group and their discography currently are, I don't really know if this record is going to hit home with a lot of the listeners that grew up on Discovery and Alive 2007 and then discovered the band again with Tron. Even though Daft Punk and their discography are as popular as they've ever been in their whole career, I don't really know to whom this is going to appeal. It's a pretty good record with presumably a pretty open-minded audience, but I just don't know if it's going to be an insta-classic like some of their earlier work. At the end of the day, it comes down to Daft Punk's ambition. Bangalter and De Omem Cristo are incredibly ambitious when it comes to this stuff, and you can tell as a listener that they love their own work, but sometimes maybe they love it a little too much. This project, bound to be a universal success, feels more like a pat on the back, kind of a self-congratulatory effort by the group. At the end of the day, I'm probably feeling about a 6 out of 10 on this record. But Tell us what you thought. Be sure to leave a comment telling us your thoughts down below. Have a good day. Bye!